You're about to listen to a Gaming Stooges podcast with your regularly scheduled Stooges.
I'm Jack.
The internet calls me Cloud.
And I'm Landon.
We hope you enjoyed today's discussion, and if you do, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, following us on Twitch, or joining our Discord. Let's get on with the show.
Hi, folks. We're going to talk about the DS at you for like an hour, maybe a little more.
Probably a lot.
Probably a bit. The Nintendo DS is a very popular system. It is one of the best-selling systems of all time. One of the best-selling system in North America, actually. Came out back on November 21st, 2004. I can't believe I almost forgot that when Landon put it as the title of our audio call.
I did it. I did it for a reason.
You did do that,
Yep.
And somehow I forgot. Probably because I did not actually open up my Google Doc that has what little notes I took for this. Okay, now I do.
Dumb son of a bitch.
But anyway, yeah, as I was saying, the DS is an extremely popular system. I mean, it's sold 154 million units across its lifetime, which is very, very close to the PlayStation 2. And we also have, according to Statista Research Department, I found this interesting, 57.9 million units have been sold in North America.
That is
lot,
not
right?
as many as I thought it would be.
It's still a lot. It is more than every other system ever in North America. Like the PS2 only sold 53 million. Xbox is at like 47 million. I think Switch is at like 43 million right now. So
I did not know that.
The Nintendo DS is sold like hotcakes.
America's system.
America's system. The Nintendo DS.
Time to play a good old-fashioned round of Madden 08.
I think one of the things that really set the DS apart was its ability to appeal to a wider audience, because you had stuff like the touchscreen, which was super unique and novel at the time, and you had games that could cater to a casual market, I'm not saying this as a disrespect, like there were really good quality games that could appeal to those audiences, like Nintendogs, Brain Age. So just wider audience, some casual friendly features, and I mean the most important thing that the Nintendo DS had, PictoChat.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can send drawings of dicks to your friends.
Who are sitting in the same room as you, most likely.
I almost said drawings of your dicks.
But preferably not your dick.
Yeah.
How many dicks do you have, Jack?
Don't ask me. I've lost count.
Okay.
So I know
You have. Okay. Never mind.
Oh,
Bad bit. Bad bit.
Bad bit.
How many?
Let's move on. We're gonna sound like a broken record for the people who have been listening to all of our podcasts, but in case you're new, let's go over real quick first of all, thank you for tuning in. Let's go over what our first experiences were with the Nintendo DS. When'd you get it? Which model? What was your first game?
I have a very straightforward and easy answer to this. It was Christmas Day, 2005. I got Sonic Rush and Nintendogs Dachshund and Friends, and it was the blue one, Electric Blue. Is that what it was called?
I have no idea.
For the regular
Blue
DS, I don't know.
Actually, it is Electric Blue. It's literally in the picture on Wikipedia. An Electric Blue Nintendo DS. I no longer own it, tragically, because I'm a coward who traded mine in for a DS Lite, which I do have, but that's a different story.
That is indeed a different story.
Yeah, that was my first exposure.
I've said this before, but my first experience was I was supposed to get it for my birthday because like my dad said I will, he's gonna get it for me for my birthday, and then like 2 months passed and I never got a birthday gift from him. So eventually, I got it the day before Pokemon Diamond and Pearl came out. And so my first game was Pokemon Ranger because I traded one of my Pokemon games that I owned for Pokemon Ranger. It was I think I was gifted, maybe it wasn't. I don't remember which game I traded, but it doesn't matter because whatever game I traded, I have another copy of now because I know it wasn't anything important. But yeah, that was my first game, was Pokemon Ranger, which was kind of cool.
I feel so bad for you.
No, don't, because
so sorry.
No, because the thing is that the copy of Pokemon Ranger I got had the Manaphy, and I managed to get the Manaphy in my Pokemon Pearl. I know that
Are you just trying to fuck with me?
Yes, I am. Is it working?
I quit.
Oh no!
You quit this podcast or quit Gaming Stooges?
Yes.
All right. See ya.
All right.
He quits for real
Bye,
this
Landon.
time.
Oh shit! The prophecy as foretold.
By the dirty.
So now what do
skanks.
we do?
How about you tell us your first experience with the DS, Landon?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Might as well. I've got nothing better to do now that I'm not part of Gaming Stooges.
Might as well join Gaming Stooges.
You know?
Yeah, why not?
I hear they're hiring.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
do need a third member.
Okay. Well, have you tried Justin? Have you tried giving him a ring recently?
This is what it was like when they had the 2010 recast of the Sonic characters, and they were recasting Eggman, and then Mike Pollock showed up, and he was like, "Hey, hi guys,
And then they were
Can
just
I
like,
just have my
you know
gun
what?
back?"
You're just the best one. So yeah, there you go.
we're keeping you." Sorry. Go on.
Yeah. So my DS, I got it pretty early in. I don't remember the games I had with it. I remember one of the first titles I got for it was Lost Magic.
That is a game I've never played.
Yeah. But I think that one came out sometime in 2005, if I remember right. We looked this up for the last time we talked about when I got a DS. And I know I also had Mario Kart pretty early in too.
Good
yeah,
game.
I had a red. Yeah, Mario Kart DS, the game, the video game.
Good
Hell
game.
Yeah. Yeah, I had those, and I had an original model red DS. I still own that. It sits in a drawer with all my other handhelds that have been banished to the drawer of handhelds.
The drawer of handhelds. How many? So, this is probably going to be more of an interesting answer for for me more than any of us. But how many different DS units have you owned?
Landon.
Oh, perfect.
He's buzzing in.
Well, let's just get me out of the way because
It's
I'm
just the one.
Just the one DS.
Just the one DS, actually.
Just the one. Actually, just the one.
I mean, if it's
Thanks for asking.
if it still works, there's no need to get another one, right?
They're truly, I mean, like, in terms of DS models, and we'll get to this later, but, like, the Fat DS, I feel like, is the true DS experience.
If you didn't play on that, then I'm so sorry for you.
Jack, how many different DS units have you gotten? And by different, I mean, like, it doesn't have to be, like, one per model. Like, how many just DSs have you had?
So, I had an electric blue Fat DS, and that was my first one. When the DS Lite came out, and I was like, ooh, it's smaller, but the screens are the same size. That sounds better than this piece of shit I have now. You know, me being a dumbass 11-year-old. So I traded that in to get a DS Lite because it was sleeker. It looked cooler, I thought, at the time. And it is a sleeker design overall, like, objectively. But, like, you know, it has its faults, like how the buttons fucking wear out. But that's a story for another time.
Yeah. I was gonna say we'll go over that. We got a whole section where we're gonna talk about the models.
So I traded in my electric blue DS for this black DS Lite. Hold on, we gotta do this bit where
where Landon holds up his DS to the camera and
There we
Jack
go.
holds up his DS to the camera, and now they're just at infinity. Ad
There we go.
infinitum.
Perfect. And let's see. It was Christmas 2009 that I got a white DSi. And that was like the main DSi or the main DS that I used until I got my 3DS. And at the time, GameStop had that deal where you could get, I think it was 75 off if you traded in a DS Lite towards a 3DS. So that's what I did. So I no longer have that DSi, but I do still have this aqua blue, I don't know what the official color name for this is, but DSi, which used to be my sister's, which she just kind of gave to me at a certain point when she kind of just stopped playing video games at a certain point. So, and this is still pretty much perfect. And this is the main system that I use to play DS games if I were to pick one up today.
Okay.
So 4 total.
Man, I've got you guys both beat combined, and it's not even close, and it's sad, and we'll get into why. But all right, so I had my first one was a regular white, I don't know what they called it, but white DS Lite. And then my second DS was a Triforce DS Lite. I think that was for Phantom Hourglass that it was for. It was like it's like a goldish greenish like hue with a Triforce on the top. And then I had a cobalt blue and black DS Lite when they came out with like the ones that had like there was like the top plate is a certain color, but the rest is like a matte black. There was like that one. There was also like a red one, but I didn't have that one. So that's 3 so far. I ended up getting a another white DS Lite. Oh no, I had a regular black DS Lite. I don't know what happened to that one. I got another white DS Lite. That one broke. I'm on my 6th DS Lite right now, and it's already going, and it's another cobalt blue and matte black DS Lite, and like the screen. We're gonna get into it, but I've had 6 DS Lites. And I've also owned a DSi at one point. It was, I can't remember what color it was. It might be baby blue, or it might have been pink. I can't remember because my friend. So I'll just tell the story. So there was a day, and I think I've told this story before, but I'm gonna tell it again anyway. But there was a day at work when someone had customer or somebody had left their DS at the store. This is back when I worked in fast food, and we held on to it. We were expecting them to come back and be like, hey, I misplaced this DS, and then we were gonna be like, here's your DS, we have it. But they never came back. So like after a little while of waiting, my store manager just goes, does anybody want this DS? And I was like, oh, me. So like he just gave me the DSi, so I had a DSi. And then I traded it away for a PSP because at the time I didn't have a PSP, and I already had another DS that was working. So I was like, well, I don't need this. So I've had 7 DS units that I've owned. 6 of them are the DS Lite, and one of them's a DSi, which I traded away. I also do have experience with the basic fat model. I borrowed it from a friend because there was a period of time I didn't have money. One of my DS Lites had broken, and he was like, well, if you want, you can borrow mine. So I borrowed his, and then I gave it back to him. So, yeah. So there's 4 models of the DS. There's the original fat model, came out in 2004, and it had a couple different colors. Landon has the red one. There was also a blue, and there was a silver one.
I have the list of official names if you are curious.
For the colors?
Yeah. So the standard gray is titanium.
Okay.
There is sky blue, candy pink, snow white, lava red, electric blue, pearl pink, and Toys R Us gold.
All right. So Landon has a lava red one, and I used the electric blue for a bit. In 2006, I don't have it exactly up anywhere at the moment, but I just know it was in 2006 they released the DS Lite. That was originally available in... Do you have those up too, Jack, or...?
Oh god, they're so fucking many. I could read them all, but it would take a while.
Does it say what the launch ones were?
I can give you the North American ones if that'd be simpler.
Yeah, wasn't it white, black, and pink? But I don't know what they called them specifically.
There was Polar White, Coral Pink, and Onyx, which is the black.
I thought you were going to say poor.
Poor white.
Just poor white.
Poor white.
And then...
Poor ass white.
In early 2009, for North America, it had come out the previous year in Japan, we got the DSi. That was in a couple different colors as well.
They don't really have fun names.
Yeah.
So.
And then the DSi XL came out in early 2010. Again, in Japan, it came out the previous year near the end of 2009. So, those are the four main units. Landon obviously has mentioned he only has experience really with the fat model. That's the only one he needed. No shame in that.
Well, no, that's incorrect.
Oh, you have?
That's the only one I've owned.
But you've used...
I've played on the other ones.
On all of them, or just like a couple of the others?
What's my line of work? What do you think I did?
Well, like, have you actually like played on them besides just testing a game out, or like...
Yes. I mean, like maybe a couple minutes here and there, but I've used all four.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure if that counts. That's really just testing purposes. It's not like playing on them. You're just testing to make sure it works.
I've used all four models. I rest my case.
He has experience. He's used them.
Sure. Whatever. What about you, Jack?
I've never touched a DSi XL. I'm not entirely sure that they exist, honestly.
I had a friend that owned one, and I never really used it. Like, I held it in my hand for like 2 seconds. I thought that the screen was a little too like pixelated and fuzzy, and then I was like, okay, here you go. I didn't really have experience with it. I just kind of looked at it for a few seconds and held it. But,
I mean, I've played DS games on my 3DS XL, and I imagine it's like a pretty similar experience.
I mean, I haven't touched a DSi XL in so long, but I think it's probably a little, no, it might be the same. I don't know. It's the only one that I don't have a whole lot of experience with at all. I've used and actually played on all three of the other ones, and unfortunately, the DS Lite extensively.
Here's a fun fact that I was not aware of, but I thought it was kind of funny. In 2007, they released a Seattle Mariners edition of the DS Lite, which was sold exclusively at Safeco Field during Mariners games. And
that was when Nintendo owned the Mariners, right?
Well, technically they're still like partnered owners, but they're not just like, they don't have full control over the team anymore, just like partial ownership. But either way, I thought to myself, oh, that sounds kind of cool. And then I Googled it, and I'm going to post it in the spoilers. It just looks like that. And for our audio listeners, it's literally just a white DS Lite, but with the Mariners logo pasted on the left side of the outer shell.
That's so ugly.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
It should have had the Mariners colors to it.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is very much they slapped 2000 stickers on white DS Lites and called it a day.
Yep.
If it was actually like blue and teal, that would be fucking sick.
Oh yeah, like imagine like the top plate was one color and then the rest was like another color, kind of like how they did the matte black and like top ones.
Yep.
That'd be cool. But of course we can't have nice things. Do you have a preferred model of DS?
No.
Lennon's like, there's only one model.
There's only one model, so how can I have a favorite? There's only one of them.
Okay, I think, like, from an objective level, the Fat DS is, like, the best way to play. Well, maybe not just to play DS games, but, like,
I was gonna say, yeah.
The thing is that the DSi, like, is just purely performance-wise and, like, in terms of, like, just being a good piece of technology, is by far the best DS model, except that it doesn't have the GBA slot. So,
yeah,
it sucks.
I will say this is my preferred way. The DSi is, like, if I'm going back to a DS game, I'm going to use this 100% of the time. Mostly because on the 3DS, the screens get blown up way too big and it doesn't look as good. And also because my DS Lite's D-pad is barely functional. So, which is, if anything, an argument towards the DS Lite being the worst DS model because the buttons wear out so easily.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so, like, despite my, like, whole experience with the DS mostly being DS Lite, I have to agree. I think part of the reason why that the DS sold so many units is kind of dubious, because, like, a lot of those are DS Lites.
Yeah.
And a lot of those, and, like, a not insignificant number of those were probably people buying a second one because their first one broke.
Consider
it's
this.
like the Xbox 360.
Consider the following. People are fucking stupid. Like, we are, like, normal people that treat our electronics with respect, but there are a lot of people that just kind of handle it like it's something they could buy at the drop of a hat. Again. And they did, in some cases, probably. But also, they threw it around without a care, and also maybe pushed the buttons a little bit too hard, and the buttons wore out faster than they
even without even factoring that, like, that aside, like, I've had experiences where, like, I've used my DS Lite as like a daily driver DS, and I would just literally just take it with me and put it in my pocket, and over time it would just break. It would just wear out. The buttons would stop working. The screens would stop working properly. It's not a great build quality.
And that's kind of the point that I'm making, too, is that, like, even if you treat it, like, with respect and care, it's still going to wear out and break over time. Because, like Al said in the chat, the Lite felt more fragile. It really does. It really just feels like it's made of cheaper plastic than the original DS.
So, I think...
And the DSi, for that matter.
I think the point you're trying to make is definitely something I totally agree with. If you want a DS in order to play both DS and Game Boy Advance games, you probably just want to get the fat one because that one's going to last you. Like, that one's just going to actually work. Yes, the DS Lite has better screen quality because it has the better brightness, but that's literally the only thing it has going for it over the fat DS. That is it. Like, the regular fat DS has a better, like, I would argue it has a better stylus. It has, the GBA slot is obviously it's flush, so that makes it better in that regard.
The cartridge actually fits in all the way.
Exactly, yeah.
Instead of on the DS Lite where it's, like, sticking out halfway.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I said it sits flush with the system rather than jutting out like that. And just the overall build quality is just better. Like, the speakers aren't really substantially different between the two, and, like, the buttons are arguably better on the DS had buttons that were similar to the GBA SP, which, I mean, I don't know about you, but I like the buttons on the GBA SP, so, like,
good buttons.
So the DS having those same kind of buttons, that's good for me, I think.
Same controller charger too, or charger.
That is another point. It's weird. The DS Lite is the only DS model that has its own charger. Like,
but it's the same one as the GBA SP.
No, the DS Lite.
Oh, the DS Lite. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
The DS Lite has its own separate charger that works for only the DS Lite. The
That is
regular
true.
DS
the DSi and up
have
all use the same charger.
Yep.
Yeah, because they have the same charger as the 3DS, right?
Yep. That's why I said DSi and up.
Yep. So
All future handhelds, except for obviously now the Switch.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
every model of 3DS, DSi XL uses the same charger.
which is pretty cool, honestly. It's good to have you could just pull out one of those chargers and it works on like 10 different systems. So
Yep.
yeah, and then the other thing that Jack was mentioning, if you're trying to play just DS games, there's a good debate to be had that the DSi is the best version of the handheld to play them, because you have the screen quality of the DS Lite, but it is slightly bigger, and I mean the build quality overall is just, from my experience, it was a lot better than the DS Lite. Like I think they fixed quite a bit of the build quality problems that the DS Lite had, and the DSi just handles better. The buttons are also nicer, I found. I don't know, I like the clickiness of the buttons on the DSi. But those are all the 4 models. We didn't really talk about the XL because, like, I don't know. Does anybody here have anything to say about the DSi XL?
Great question, Landon.
It exists.
It's unwieldy.
It's
just. I might as well be trying to play on a laptop.
It's weird. It's like, and it's like the 3DS XL. I think part of the reason is that the DSi XL, it's very flat in like its curves and build. It's like very flat. But the 3DS, both the regular 3DS XL and then the new 3DS XL, they have some subtle curves to them which make them a little bit better to hold. So yeah, the DSi XL is just kind of weird, kind of funky.
Holy shit! I just looked at this. This is only gonna be for the Twitch viewers. But do you guys want to see a picture of me when I was 14?
Dude, you have a picture on your DSi DSi
from this. When my sister owned this, there's me.
Wow.
Age 14.
Wow.
Wow.
If I had a way to post that in the chat, I would. I could take a picture of it with my phone, I guess.
I was gonna say, what? Can't you? Oh wait,
it does my computer doesn't have an SD card slot. So.
Oh, and you don't have an SD card reader?
No.
Rip. Gotta get an SD
Send
card.
it to me, Jack. I have an SD card slot.
Just ship him the SD card.
Or I could do the much easier thing and just take it with my phone.
Just ship me your phone and I'll upload
it. So yeah, those are the different models. Like I said, we don't have a whole lot to say about the DSi XL. Let's talk about the games. You guys want to talk about some DS games?
Yeah.
Do you guys have
Can
you guys
Nintendogs? Yay.
I have nothing to say about Nintendogs, to be honest. I never played it. I never owned a copy, never played Nintendogs in my life.
I played a shitload of Nintendogs back in the day. I have not touched it in years, though.
I know what Cloud's Christmas present is.
You're just gonna send me a copy of Nintendogs.
And I know what Season 2 of the Gaming Stooges podcast is going to 100% be about.
It's just always gonna be Nintendogs.
Every iteration of Nintendogs.
Oh my god. Just entire hour-long episodes of just talking about Nintendogs.
Yep. We gotta go with Dalmatian. We gotta go with Golden Retriever. Each one's gonna be its own podcast.
Jeez. We're just gonna become a Nintendogs podcast.
That's what the patrons want. Just ask Al. Bronze tier stooge Al. He wants this. That's the content he pays for.
Do you guys know your top 5 DS games off the top of your head?
I know 5 DS games off the top of my head.
There's like hundreds of games. How you only know 5?
How you only know 5?
How I only know 5? Because I am 5.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Fair enough.
How How did you join this podcast?
I joined this podcast over a decade ago when we started the YouTube channel.
How are you 5 then?
I don't know. Fuck.
He called up his good buddy Ichigo Bradley.
Oh, goodness. Listen, we can talk more about that in our next episode, where we can talk about
Ichigo Bradley.
Because we can talk about Zach and Wiki.
Oh, true.
Our next podcast episode is the Wii. It's kind of not a surprise, not a secret. The two systems released pretty close together in the year on 2 separate years, so we're like, we'll just do 2 episodes back to back.
So anyway, Jack, 5 DS games
ever?
Just your favorite,
like.
your top 5.
All right. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie game.
1.
Drawn to Life, the sequel
2.
that I don't remember the name of. What was that? Scribblenauts.
3.
Let's see. Sega Superstars Tennis.
You're just thinking of 5
More.
random DS games that are like not close to your favorites at all.
And Hannah Montana the movie.
Yeah, good
Good
answer,
answers.
cheese. Good answer, cheese.
All right, but I raise you the most important DS game of all time, Cory in the House.
Oh shit! I forgot
Good
about
answer,
Cory in the
cheese.
House.
That was a
It's
DS
Cheese
game.
Whiz.
Cheese was his
Good
favorite
answer,
DS
cheese.
game. Cheese was his favorite DS game is Cory in the House.
Oh, God bless him.
Uh,
All right, top 5.
just some of your favorites if you can't think of 5 specifically.
Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations.
Good answer.
Good answer. Mario Kart DS.
Answer.
Fuck you, Landon. Let's see. Probably Professor Layton in the Unwound Future.
Ooh, good answer.
Did you play that one?
I have not yet. Is that
Oh.
the third one of
Yeah.
the original trilogy? Okay, yeah, I have not played that one yet.
That's my favorite one. Probably Pokemon Platinum.
Answer.
And
Not Pokemon Black or White. Pokemon Black
oh
or White
yeah.
2.
For some reason, I was mostly just thinking Gen 4. All right, I changed that
I
answer.
was gonna say Gen 5 and Gen 4 were both DS.
I know. I it's just that when I think of the DS, I mostly like Gen 4 is the generation that I more associate with the DS than Gen 5, just because
Fair.
Gen 5 was like on the end of the DS's life cycle.
Right.
By
By the time it came
but-
out, the 3DS was already out. So.
But by the time Black 2 came out, which is actually my favorite on the DS, the 3DS had been out for, what, a year and a half already?
Yeah.
And number 5. Shit, I had... Oh, Animal Crossing Wild World.
Okay.
Oh, I was really hoping for Nintendo's Golden Retriever Edition.
So
I think my sister had that one, actually. I never played it, though. The only one I ever played with Dachshund was Dachshund and Friends, which I do still have a copy of.
Well, now I know what you're getting for Christmas.
Oh, boy! I'd probably still
Everyone's-
have it if I dug it up.
Everyone's getting complete collections of Nintendogs.
Hell yeah.
all right. So I think if I had to give a top 5, without like repeating franchise or repeating series at least, I would definitely say The World Ends With You, Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver, Elite Beat Agents, then where is it? You know what? Yeah, Big Bang Mini is like the most underrated DS game, I feel. Like not enough people talk about Big Bang Mini. That one's really good. And then did I say 5 already or did I only say 4?
That was 4.
I think that was 4.
Sonic Rush Adventure. That's the last one. I am still Sonic Rush Adventure's strongest soldier. There is no one that likes Sonic Rush Adventure more than me.
And Landon is Sonic Rush Adventure's strongest hater, which is kind of funny.
Dude, I love Sonic Rush Adventure. That game fucks.
That game fucks a garbage can.
You're a garbage can. As we've been able to say, you know, that's us two so far. Landon, what do you have for your favorite 5? Do you have 5?
I thought you were going to just like cut away to some other topic.
No, because I remembered that you didn't actually give an actual answer because Jack was too busy giving fake answers.
Oh, damn it. Jack, you're supposed to give another fake 5. What were you thinking?
All right. Brain Age, train your brain in minutes a day. Come on, Landon.
All right, fine. Chrono Trigger.
Good answer, Steve.
I didn't want to consider Chrono Trigger. Like, it definitely is, like, in top 5, but I didn't want...
You put Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Well, no, yeah, because the thing is I considered either actual, like, full remakes or new games, whereas Chrono Trigger is more of, like, just a port. So, like, I tried to, like, not consider just straight ports. Because it's just a port with touchscreen controls, really.
That is new content.
It has a little bit of new content, I guess, but
You
like
can
it's still
capture monsters and make them fight each other.
It is still closer to me as a port than a remake / new game. So like, but I mean, yeah, if we're considering ports, then yeah, Chrono Trigger.
I mean,
still up
obviously,
there. It's like one of the best games
Chrono Trigger is the best DS game if we're including that. But I mean, that's just not fair to the other games.
It really isn't. That's why I like disqualified Chrono Trigger on the basis that it would just win.
Well,
Exactly.
I'm not, because here I am speaking my truth and your truths.
Speak your truth, Landon.
I'm speaking everyone's truth when I say Chrono Trigger and 4 more copies of Chrono Trigger. No, I actually wrote down some games.
Oh, okay.
Pull that up. I was doing that before we did this, but I didn't write anything in order because I'm smart.
That's fine.
I just started writing down games.
Mine were not in order either.
So other games that I've played on the DS system, the family of systems that I really like, Retro Game Challenge, Tetris DS, Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans.
That's another really good one. That's like definitely up there, especially after, you know, for recent games I've been able to play.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely like the most recent game on the DS, for the DS that I have played. Well, no, that's a lie. I've also like recently played through like Super Princess Peach and Kirby, some of the DS Kirby games.
Jack, you still have to play Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans.
I guess I do.
Yeah, you do.
Damn.
And then we can have a podcast dedicated to that.
Just the Dragon Ball.
And then it's going to break up our Nintendogs discussion for Season 2.
Yeah.
Nintendogs Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans. Golden Retriever Edition. That's episode 16 for Season 2.
When's the Gaming Stooges podcast where a golden retriever retrieves the Dragon Balls?
Episode 16, Season 2.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger was the 68th best-selling DS game.
That's so low. That should be way higher.
It should be one lower.
Yeah, I was also going to say that.
Damn, you know what? That's true. If it had just been one lower.
The real crime is that Kirby Mass Attack sold more.
What is the 69th best-selling game?
Tamagotchi Connection Corner Shop 2.
Nice.
I need to get myself a copy of that.
That sold 1 million copies. The power of the DS, I guess.
The DS had so many games on it. Like, just so many.
Like, there are
Good.
a shitload of games here. Like, there are 75...
Like, I don't even own
75 games here that have sold over 1 million copies on the DS.
I don't even own a whole lot of DS games yet at the moment, but like, there's so many good ones, and like even like franchises that you wouldn't expect to like have a good game, they have like a good game on the DS. Like one sleeper, I know this is weird, but like so in the mid 2000s they started doing a thing in the Yu-Gi-Oh game series where they did Yu-Gi-Oh World Championship, where they like basically made the games actually play like the card game. But they went the extra mile, especially for Yu-Gi-Oh World Championship 2008, where they made a whole ass story mode where you get to duel in like the spirit world and you fight dual spirits, and then like you work your way up into a tournament, and then you like challenge the actual like characters of Yu-Gi-Oh and Yu-Gi-Oh GX. It's like, it's insane the amount of content this game has, and it's just a random ass DS game. Like, there's so many, and like that's just the tip of the iceberg. You have, you know, a bunch of good ports and fresh games and remakes. Like Final Fantasy III was a game that I played a ton of back in the day, and it's crazy because I played it in like 2009, something like that. And I remember just being blown away that this was a game on the DS. Like there was, because I know most people's experience with like, wow, holy crap, this is a DS game, was like playing Super Mario 64 DS, and they're like, oh, you know, you have all these like 3D stuff, or like Mario Kart DS was another early one. But for me, it was like, wow, I just played Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 9 on the PlayStation, and now I'm playing this game that's like the same graphical quality almost, but not actually really, but still almost. And it's on the DS. Wow. Like that was my like wow moment with the DS, like punching above its weight. I don't know. Do you guys have like any sort of experience like that for the DS where it was like just kind of surprised you? I feel like everybody has like that one game that like really wowed. Like,
honestly, I did think it was really cool when I first played Sonic Rush, like watching the game go from one screen to another like completely seamlessly, and like playing that in real time. Like I think that's part of the reason why Sonic Rush is so like boost to win, is because they wanted to make it a little bit like less disorienting for people like watching, like having to switch between both screens, like just keeping their eyes on. But like, I don't know, I thought that was cool. The first time I saw it, I was like, whoa, Sonic's going on down to the bottom screen now. No, he's going back up.
I mean, it was a good use of the dual screens, because like, yeah, you have a lot of games that like played it safe and would have like the bottom screen for like extra information. That was usually a thing a lot in like platformers most of the time outside of Sonic Rush or RPGs. But then you had Sonic Rush that was like, nah, we're gonna have both screens where the action happens.
We're utilizing the whole ass system.
That was one of the things I really liked about Big Bang Mini though, because like Big Bang Mini, you'd have like the bottom screen, you would use the stylus to like swipe and like fire whatever you were firing off. It depended on like which like level you were on, but like a lot of stuff would be on the top screen and you'd be aiming at stuff on the top screen from the bottom screen. I thought it was like super cool.
Lennon, you look like you got something to say.
I'm looking at Landon as well.
I was sleeping with my eyes open.
Oh, I'm sorry to have awoken you. Please return to your slumber. Okay.
Just waiting for the toilet to stop flushing.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So we're gonna sit here for a second.
Gotcha.
Elite Beat Agents was also another good game that I think made good use of the dual screens. Because you had the
I would agree.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I would agree with that.
Yeah, because like you had the bottom screen where you'd have all of like the rhythm elements. You'd do like the different tapping to the songs, and then on the top screen you had, you know, these really cool like visual like cartoon sequences where everything would play out while you're playing the song. And it just there's some games that took really creative usage of the two screens. And it is like the main gimmick of the system.
I think and this is a game I actually got kind of a lot of mileage out of because I used to own it, but I mentioned it earlier as a joke, but Brain Age utilized the DS like just by playing it sideways entirely, and then you would just like control on the touchscreen. And it was a fun, like, you know, brain training minigame collection. Although I do think the Japanese title for the game is much funnier. Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training. How old is your brain?
That is a funny title.
That's a good title.
Why did they change it?
So I guess like graphics and like gameplay wise, the first answer that comes to my mind is Dragon Quest IX.
That's a good
I
one.
hadn't played any Dragon Quest games before that, and I know Jack's answer, like, thoughts on this one, so hush for a second. Please, calm down. Thank you. Okay. Alright, now that we've taken deep breath in, deep breath out.
Does he have a hatred of Dragon Quest IX?
I just think it's okay.
Yeah,
I don't hate it.
It was like one of my first. It was definitely my first experience with Dragon Quest, and I ended up really enjoying it a lot. And then I would also say the Mario and Luigi games, especially Bowser's Inside Story, because you could turn like during the Bowser fights, you could turn the system on its side. That was always
100%.
a lot of fun. And then Phantom Hourglass, having the map that you could like leave yourself notes for, I always really enjoyed for Zelda.
Yep. I mean, Phantom Hourglass, just using the touchscreen as its sole way of controlling and it actually being pretty intuitive is good.
Yeah, it's scary. It's just some of the level design in that and Spirit Tracks is kind of meh. Otherwise, they're pretty solid.
Cloud, did you mention The World Ends With You earlier?
I did mention it earlier, but I didn't actually really talk about it as much as I wanted to. The World Ends With You is another game that was like super impressive on the DS because of the touchscreen and the dual screens. Because I loved how it's kind of hard to get into, but I do still think that the DS version is the best one because of the way that it utilized those two screens. Because you'd have like one ally up on the top screen and you'd be able to like use like the D-pad and like A, B, X, Y, I believe. I think it might have just mostly been like the D-pad, but like you'd use them on the top screen by pressing that. And then on the bottom screen, you'd have your stylus, and depending on like the badges you had equipped, you'd do certain swipes or circles or some other thing with the stylus on the touch screen, and it would read that, and you'd have like certain abilities. Like there was a way to like use like a firewall by swiping across the screen kind of slowly, or you could do like little like magic bullet type attacks by tapping on the enemies, and it would shoot towards them. There was so many cool different things that you could do with the fights in that game, and it was just very, very good usage of the dual screens. Not to mention, even like on the field, you'd have like extra information and stuff on the top screen, and you'd actually have your movement on the bottom screen, because it would also allow you to get into your encounters on the bottom screen by like if you like did like a certain tapping on like, I think you had to tap on Neku. I haven't played in a while, but if like you tapped it in a certain way and like held it down, it would like spread out like a scanning thing on the bottom screen, and then it would like bring up all of the enemies like icons, and then you could like tap on a bunch of them all at once and then like chain them together. And if you didn't want to fight a bunch at once, you could just tap on one or two, and then it would just, you know, you'd get funneled into a fight that was just one or two strings long. But if you want to challenge yourself, you could actually just like, there'd be like 6 or 7 or 8 enemies on screen after you scan, and you could like tap all of them and do like a string of 8 battles back to back. I thought it was really cool. So just super, just a bunch of different cool usages of the dual screens, and that's just it's something I like to highlight when we talk about the DS, because the dual screens being the main gimmick. I know a lot of games, they just kind of like played it safe, but I like to really talk about some of the games that, you know, kind of did things a little differently. The music also for The World Ends With You is just so good. Have you played The World Ends With You, Jack? Because I really feel like the soundtrack is something that you would vibe with.
I have played a little bit of it. It's been a long time. But what was that one fucking... I was obsessed with like one song from that soundtrack, I think.
Probably Calling, because Calling is like a really, really good one.
I'm going to look up the soundtrack real quick.
But no, there's so many good songs on that soundtrack. And it's definitely the kind of soundtrack you'd vibe with, so yeah.
Enough fooling around talking about some shitty RPG. Let's talk about Sonic Chronicles.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Nope. I got your hopes up.
Yes, you did.
I was say,
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon games on the DS.
Fantastic. There are a lot of Pokemon games. There are some that are way better than others.
I was going to say,
like
you've got Gen 4,
Mystery
Gen 5, you've got Mystery Dungeon. You actually have Blue Rescue Team as well as the Explorers games. You have Pokemon Ranger. You have Pokemon Dash, I guess, and maybe not that one. No, don't play that one.
Conquest.
That's another good one. If you played a DS as a Pokemon machine, I mean, you were missing out on like dozens of other really good games, but at least you had a lot of good Pokemon games on it too.
And the Pokemon Ranger games.
And wow. Not okay.
You had a lot of good Pokemon games, and those two.
Wow.
That's my answer.
There's three. There's 3 Pokemon Ranger games, alright?
I don't care. The first one killed the entire franchise for me.
Well, you can at least refer to it as a series of 3 games.
I will do no such thing.
I fucking remember.
I do not give that.
Which song
any
was
respect.
it, Jack?
It was 3 minutes clapping.
3 minutes clapping is a really good one too.
Was it just 3 minutes
God.
of clapping?
No.
But oh my god.
It's so good.
This is unlocking memories for me.
It's
Uh-oh.
But yeah, no, Landon, tell us more about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Because it is a good game, and I think it'd be cool if you shared.
Oh, I mean, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I mean,
especially the Explorers.
Yeah. I really enjoyed all of the Mystery Dungeon, like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. But definitely Explorers has a soft spot in my heart. It has that specific set of games has probably the best story of any of the Pokemon games. Just period. I mean, there's probably people that will argue otherwise, but I know they're wrong. I don't know. It's like they're like fun. They are like easier like games than the other Mystery Dungeon type games that you can find. Yeah. But they still have a really good challenge to them, especially during the part. Is it in the first or is it in Explorers when you have to fight the 3 legendary birds with just you and your partner?
That's Rescue Team. You don't
Rescue Team. Okay.
Yeah, you don't really fight the bird. You don't really fight. I think you fight the Lake Trio in Explorers.
Yeah, you do a lot. You do a lot more with the with Gen 4 related stuff because it was post Gen 4, whereas Rescue Team was
right before Gen 4.
Yeah,
it was like at the ass end of Gen 3.
Yeah, but no, they are. Yeah.
There's just so much content.
There's a ton of content. Just beating the main story.
The main story is
like
a beefy 20 to 30 hours, and then like half the game is in the post game.
Sometimes more than half, just because of how long those dungeons run.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Like you could end up spending
especially if you're going
several hundred
especially if
hours.
you're going for like all of the legendaries, just going after them is like that's a time sink. If you want a fucking time sink, my god, going after all the Pokemon in those games. Phew.
Yeah, you got to get all their friend areas, then you got to recruit them. Some of them are a pain in the ass to recruit.
Yeah, you have to, especially in Explorers, you have the gummy system to give you like different attribute boosts and stuff. Like farming those so you can like get the better friend drop rates is super important. I still want a remake of just how they did Rescue Team. I want a Explorers DX.
I was gonna say, considering Explorers is like pretty much universally considered the best Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game and one of the best side games, it's a wonder they had, like, I'm sure it's in the back of their minds to do a remake of it after Rescue Team DX did so well on the Switch.
Free money, seriously.
It wouldn't take that much budget. Just do the same art book style that the Rescue Team DX did. Just do all the content from Explorers.
Just throw it up there.
Please.
Give it to me. Sell it to me for $80.
Because, I mean, I really, really liked Rescue Team DX on the Switch, so, like, I would have no problem just playing that game, like, as a base, but just Explorers DX. Just give it.
Yeah.
That would be a good
God.
stream game one day.
I
Who called
mean,
dibs on that?
probably me.
Anyway, that's
I
a
can open
topic
up
for
my-
another day.
Yeah, I can open up my list, but I'm pretty sure I have at least the Explorers games I don't know about. I think Cloud was doing Rescue Team.
Damn, you guys got the cool ones.
You can play the Wii one.
Yay, my favorite.
You mean
Never
the one that we never got outside of Japan?
Yeah, exactly. My favorite one, the one that I can't fucking read anything in.
Get a fucking patch. Just slap it on there. It'll be fine. You'll live.
I'm sure that some mad lad has a translation patch that it's compatible with Dolphin. Like,
I mean, it's a
Probably.
fucking Pokemon game. It has there's a translation out there somewhere. Jack, how many hours did you put into Animal Crossing Wild World?
Shitload.
There has
That
to be
was
a
a
lot.
game, and I remember like exactly when I got this. Me and my sister got Animal Crossing Wild World, and I got Mario Kart DS at the same time, right before we went on a vacation, and it was great. And we both played both of them, and it was cool. I don't know. I don't have an exact number. Probably somewhere between 1 and 200. I didn't play it at. Thinking about it, I've probably played Wild World the least out of every Animal Crossing game.
Damn, that's sad.
But it's still a really fucking good one. But like, admittedly, it doesn't have as much content as the GameCube one.
No, but it's like the first handheld one,
Yeah,
and it had the constellations, so I don't even care.
true. Constellations were fucking great.
They haven't brought that shit back. Well, no, did they bring it back for New Horizons?
I think they did, actually.
Okay. Took them a long time to bring it back, though.
They did, yeah, true. Yeah, I'd probably somewhere. If I had to guess, probably like 150, maybe.
speaking of playtime, what is the game that has the most playtime for you out of any DS game?
Oh God.
DS game? Probably. It's definitely a Pokemon game.
Yeah,
I was
One
gonna
of the
say
main-
it's
probably Platinum. If I had to guess.
for me. It's definitely Pearl. There was this. My original Pearl save file was 730 hours.
Yeah, it's either Diamond or Soul Silver for me, or Tetris DS. One of those three.
Okay.
Because how many nights would I just
Yeah.
stay up and just play Tetris DS.
All the times when Landon and I would be hanging out on MSN Messenger, not even Skype, not Discord, not Skype, MSN Messenger. And I'm like, hey, Landon, what are you up to? And he'd be like, I'm playing Tetris DS.
I've cleared 1,800 lines and I'm still playing this single game. I just gotta kill myself in order
to be
stop
fair,
playing.
I mean, Tetris DS is considered like one of the best Tetris games, right?
Oh,
it's already
Absolutely.
a good DS game, and it's like considered one of the best Tetris games. So like,
it is
absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I have not found a Tetris that has filled that itch that I had when I played that. I mean, the NES art styling on the top screen aside, like it just feels so good to just play that specific like Tetris. I don't know what it is about it. I don't even care about any of the other fucking modes. There's like 6 different modes in that fucking game. There's like push, there's like, I don't know, fucking shoot, I don't know. There's a puzzle mode. I played a little bit of those, but like just straight Tetris. Ugh.
it's like Tetris in its purest form.
It is. And then yeah, you just throw like the Mario Zelda.
Yeah, the
like,
Nintendo theming
on top of it, and it's just like it's cute. You've got great music. It's just fantastic package.
No, that's a good answer. I really have to get Tetris DS. Like, I'm not like nearly as big of a fan of Tetris as you, but I do like my block puzzle games. I've had quite a few Tetris games before. That is one I've never touched before.
Yeah, it's.
I need to do myself a justice and get that game.
It's the version.
I do too.
To buy. It is.
I used to own it, and I genuinely have no idea what happened to it. I was probably an idiot and traded it in at one point.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's a thing.
Son of a bitch.
I feel like that's a thing that's happened with everybody with a DS game or two at some point, just because they're so goddamn small. Like, it's literally less than the size of one of my eye lenses. Like, these things go missing, dude. You know what game went missing for me? My last copy of Mario Kart DS. No fucking clue what happened to it. I just ordered a new one. It's gonna be here by the time the audio for this goes out on YouTube. But like the last copy, I don't fucking know what happened to it.
I lost a copy. Let's see. There's like 3 games I've lost for the DS. Kirby's Canvas Curse. I lost a copy of Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. Bought a replacement. Found it. Like, found my original. So that was cool. And then the same thing happened with Pokemon Soul Silver, because I lost my cartridge for that. And then when I gave in to get a new one, I ended up finding the original cartridge, so I was able to return that, because by that point, Soul Silver was expensive.
Yeah. My, speaking of Pokemon, that was like the most recent game that I lost a copy of, and thankfully Jack gifted me a spare copy that he had. Thank you. Because I don't know what happened. Like, I was playing it, I brought it to work, and I was playing it, and I think, to be honest, so like I went on break one day, and I had like a bag of chips, but I still had it in the like grocery bag that it was in, and I was like just eating the chips out of the open bag that was still in this other bag. I have a firm belief that I probably accidentally had put my copy of Pokemon Platinum in that bag and then tossed it with the fucking chips when I was done. Like, that's probably what happened, and it's like it bums me out that like I let that happen. It's just so careless, but
That sucks.
it's DS games, man. They're so small. Like, DS games have definitely gone missing.
I already showed it off in the collection podcast, but I just keep all of my fucking DS games in my old Game Boy Advance SP carrying case.
Yeah.
And they're all just like
Chilling.
unorganized as shit. They're just chilling.
They're just vibing.
I don't think I have ever once put a DS cartridge back into its original case after opening it. It would just go. It would go into my carrying case, and it would be in there forever.
To be honest, I used to be that person that like I used to have like all of my game cases, but I've moved so many times that when I've like downsized to try to like not have so much shit, one of like the first things I thought of was like, well, I don't need the cases for my DS games. Like the cartridges are fine. So like I got rid of all the cases. So I still have
Ouch.
like the actual game cards. So I just have them in that thing that I showed off. If you want to go on our Patreon, we got Tales of the Collection Volume 1. You can watch us go through a bunch of our games.
Was that a Patreon video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had some cool bits in there, like I like made some little editing jokes and like not enough people watched it, so please like sub to the Silver Stooge tier for like 1 month and you can watch it. It's great.
What you looking at, Landon?
I was pulling up the list of all of the DS games I own, and then I was double checking all the ones that I want to get.
I should get a buy list. I like need to like think of like games that I want to get and actually have a list. There's definitely quite a few DS games on it if I was to make that.
I would say the biggest one probably the most expensive one on this list is going to end up being Kirby Superstar Ultra.
Fuck.
Really?
That's another game I need to rebuy.
Really? Because when I bought Superstar Ultra, it wasn't that expensive. Unless, you're buying it like complete, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I bought mine loose cart. That's why it wasn't that expensive. But
well, yeah, you can find it kind of cheap. Like you can find games.
I was gonna
fairly
say my copy of Superstar Ultra was like $15. Like it is loose cart, but like it was only $15. Not to say like Kirby Superstar Ultra, really really good game. I still need to finish it. There was that goes into I think one of the last topics I wanted to talk about, just like how many goddamn franchises have good representation on the DS. Like I touched on it, but like there really is. If you can think of a franchise, whether it started on the DS or it was put on the DS at some point, there's just so much. Like you have Dragon Quest, you have Final Fantasy, you have Kirby, Mario, Sonic, got freaking Guitar Hero had a game with a peripheral that you could put in the DS Lite and the DS.
Guess what I fucking had? I forgot that I brought this in with me.
Oh,
yeah.
You got it.
I had the Guitar Hero grip for the DS.
Oh, hell yeah.
This thing cramps your fucking hand like crazy. See, this is why I keep the DS Lite around.
Because it's at least a little bit easier to play it on that?
For this. Well, no, because you literally can't play it on this.
Well, no,
it doesn't have a GBA slot.
I was thinking that you had a DS Fat.
Oh, no, I don't.
It would probably be really cramping your hand if you had it on that.
Oh, God, yeah.
Speaking
hand cramps hype.
Speaking of which, do you guys know of any other games that like utilize like the GBA slot on the DS and DS Lite for like dual slot connectivity? I mean,
besides the Pokemon games.
I was gonna say, because you had the Gen 4 Pokemon games where if you had a GBA game in, you had that. You had Guitar Hero, which needed the peripheral plugged in the GBA slot. Were there any other major ones?
I think the Rescue Team ones did something.
Yeah.
Blue
If you
and
had
Red.
if you had Blue and Red Rescue Team both in the same DS, they could communicate with each other. I don't remember like all of the ins and outs of that, but that was a thing. Yes.
Look, Cloud. Remember how you were talking about fucking Foo Fighters earlier? Here they are.
Hell yeah. The Pretender.
In Guitar Hero on Tour Decades for the Nintendo DS system of games.
Hell yeah. It's a pretty good song too.
Yeah, those are the only ones I can think of that utilized the GBA slot. I'm sure there was others. Like, isn't there a Tony Hawk game for the DS that?
Yeah, there's a few of them.
Yeah, I'm sure one or several of those require you to have a peripheral to slap in the.
I think hold on, there was at least one. I'm gonna look this up real quick.
I was gonna say Jack would know out of all of us. Did anybody have the DS internet browser?
Nope.
I didn't either. I think they were selling it at my local game store once, and I was like, wow.
There fucking was. It was called Tony Hawk's Motion, and it had a fucking motion sensor peripheral.
Yeah.
It was literally only for like grind balancing and manual balancing. Actually, you couldn't even do.
I'm getting deja vu. Did you mention this during one of our previous podcasts?
It's entirely possible I did.
I feel like I remember hearing.
Was it the Peripherals podcast by chance?
It probably was.
If I had to guess.
You'll just have to go back and listen to all the previous GamingStooges podcast episodes to find out.
We have a lot of good ones.
We have at least 17.
Yeah. As of this podcast, at least.
Yeah, there's been one stinker. Let us know down in the comments below which one it was.
I was gonna say, are you gonna tell me which stinker it was? Which one was the stinker, or is that
I don't
up
listen
to
to the
interpretation?
podcast. Yeah, I don't listen to the podcast. I edit it. I don't have time to go back and listen to it afterwards.
Oh wow, Al said in the chat that Yu-Gi-Oh! Nightmare Troubadour gave you a winged Karibo if you had Duel Academy in the GBA slot. You know what's funny is I had Duel Academy, and without cheating, legitimately obtained every card from the game. But I never had Nightmare Troubadour, and I played Duel Academy when it was back on the Game Boy Advance. I never played it when I had a DS. I didn't know about that. It's interesting. It's a really cool quirk that like the DS had. Just a lot of cool quirks. The GBA slot functionality. Got PictoChat. You had DS download play. God, you guys remember ever going to like GameStop like back in the day, and they had like Pokemon distributions through
Yup. I remember
through
doing
the
that
DS
shit.
like that. Aw.
I remember getting Deoxys, at least.
I think I remember getting Deoxys as well that way.
I remember doing a few.
It sucks.
There was an Arceus one.
Pokemon distributions have become soulless.
Yeah, it's not like... That used to be such a cool thing to do. Like, go out to the fucking... Well, I mean, you know, cool when you're 12, but, you know, go out to the GameStop and get a cool new Pokemon that you can only get if you go to GameStop.
I think the last time that I did anything like that was, like, on the 3DS for Pokemon X and Y for Hoopa, but that's another... We'll talk about the 3DS in its own specific podcast one day.
Fucking Hoopa.
Hoopa? Just a little guy. A little guy
Hoopa's not real.
Just a little guy with some rings.
Jack, Hoopa can't hurt you. Hoopa's not real.
All right, do we have any other closing thoughts about the DS? We are getting around the hovering a little over an hour and 15-minute mark.
Kind of sucks, if we're being honest. Kind of bad system. There's one thing to take away from this podcast episode is the Nintendo DS family of systems. Kind of smelly.
And by that, I think Landon just means the DS Lite is very smelly. Anything
That's
that's
true.
anything that's not the original DS is kind of smelly.
You know what? I'll concede to that. The original model of DS was perfect in every way, shape, and form. They shouldn't have changed anything.
Well, there you have it.
No.
Jack, do you have anything
True.
to say?
I mean, it's America's system.
It really
What
is.
more can you say?
It literally is the best-selling video game system in America.
In American.
In American
God bless.
currency. I'm proud to be a Nintendo
American.
DS.
Where I play
Where-
Nintendo DS.
Where I can play on my DS.
Petition to change the lyrics to that.
Please.
Petition
Make it
to
a-
change the title of this podcast, the Nintendo DS America's System.
Fuck it. I think we should.
Come on, Cloud.
I'll change the podcast title.
No, just the whole upload stream, not just the stream.
Not just the
Yeah.
stream.
whole upload. Do the
The
whole,
whole upload.
I'm saving the audio as that. That's,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of the best systems of all time. I don't think there's really much more to say.
It has a good library, folks.
It has a fucking
has
phenomenal
a
library.
good library, and there's so many stinkers in it too. We don't have time for all the stinkers.
Yeah, I
my
mean,
God.
like there's so many, but like every system that has a lot of good games will also have a lot of shitty games. That's just true for any system.
Especially
we just
the
don't
popular
have time
ones.
to talk about Metroid Prime Hunters or Fire
God,
Emblem
no.
Shadow Dragon. There's just no time.
Ugh.
I'm sorry I'm wasting
Disgusting.
your time by even bringing them up. Please continue with your day.
Thank you.
All right.
Any closing thoughts, Cloud?
Yeah, like you said, the DS, it's what more needs to be said. It is definitely one of the best systems of all time. It's not my personal favorite, but it's pretty high up there. I mean, there's just too many games on it to like not think of it in high regard. There's just way too many good games on it from every freaking genre under the sun, to be honest. Like, the DS really did have a strong, pretty well-rounded, just tons of games across different genres. I mean, there's a few genres that I haven't played a lot of DS games, but I'm sure there's some decent games in, like, you know, fighting. I mean, a couple of the Call of Duty games are considered pretty good, apparently, for DS game standards. Like, get a lot of good games on this thing. So yeah, it's pull out your Nintendo dual screen system and that have a grand old time. That's
Hell yeah.
but probably don't play on the DS Lite, because if you look at it funny, it will fall apart.
True.
Also, don't play on the DSi because the shop is dead, and you can't buy Shantae's Risky's Revenge on there anymore.
That is also
That is also true.
But I mean, you could still play all of your DS kart games, your physical games.
Wait, one last thing. Because it would behoove me if we at least didn't mention it on stream.
Behoove you?
Behoove me. Jack,
Yeah.
why have you not mentioned Ghost Trick Phantom Detective?
Oh my god.
Go watch the
mean,
Great Ace Attorney VODs.
Ghost Trick Phantom Detective for the Nintendo Switch.
No, I mean for the DS, you dumb son of a bitch.
That's a great question, and yeah, that's a great question. I don't know why I didn't mention it.
No, well, there we go. I fixed
There
the
we go.
podcast single-handedly.
Thank you, Landon.
Just doing God's work.
You also forgot to mention Buck Bumble on the Nintendo 64, Jack.
I'm leaving now.
Damn. I just... No, but Landon's going to do his thing where he gets up and goes and gets probably something Tillamook related while we do our usual, like, ad read and all that other good stuff. We got social media call-outs we got to do. We got the Patreon. I mentioned that earlier. We have... Currently, we're finishing up Pathfinder. I have uploaded 2 videos the past month, and by the time this goes up, there might be the final Pathfinder video. There was one from a couple months ago, back in October. And we're also going to have a Mario Kart 8 track tier list at some point in the near future, so...
Oh boy.
That's exclusive content if you want to subscribe to the Silver Stooge tier. December's probably the best month to do so. We're not asking you to like keep the subscription at that tier. Anything helps, honestly. It means a lot to us. We also have a Discord that we constantly talk about. If you're not part of it, please join it. We have a lot of ridiculous stuff that we share pretty much every day. It's a lot of fun. And of course, we've got, the Twitch that we're on right now for our live stream. And if you're listening to the audio on other streaming services, we have a Twitch and we stream like every week. Go follow that. Landon is back and he has Tillamook, so I think he probably just wants to talk about Tillamook for a couple minutes. So, Landon, you can talk about Tillamook.
We've got the other holiday limited edition Tillamook ice cream tonight, folks. Last episode.
You've been saving that same one, haven't you?
Yeah, this is the same one.
Oh, wow.
I told you.
Yeah.
Next time we do the podcast, I'm gonna try the peppermint bark.
Damn.
So guess what?
I mean, to be fair, it's been a few weeks.
It's been a hot one.
It's been a hot one. We took a little bit of time off because Black Friday and Thanksgiving and yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we back.
I think I like this one more.
Ooh.
Do you?
One bite and he's like, "Ooh, yeah, this one's hitting."
The sugar cookie's good, but there's not enough of the chunks to like have it to where like each bite is going to for sure have it. But from just like looking at it, like you can see a lot more of the peppermint in there.
Ooh.
And there's like actual like of the bark bits as well.
That's pretty cool.
So like there's just more of the peppermint, so it's not just vanilla ice cream with the occasional sugar cookie like chunk. This is like I think a better mix.
Like you are gonna get a little bit of that in every bite. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It has a little something for everyone.
It has a little something for everyone. And here's a little something for everyone. Our usual wrap up for the podcast episodes. We've got quite a bit of catching up to do, actually, because it's been a little bit of extra time since the last podcast. What is new outside the world of this podcast topic? Jack, it's your turn.
I need to look at Cheese Whiz. Holy shit!
Cheese Whiz is actually going to be Landon's stand-in for the rest of this podcast.
She's so close.
For the audio listeners, Cheese Whiz is literally in front of Landon's camera, just blocking Landon's view. Oh boy, Cheese Whiz is investigating.
Let's see.
Hey, you
Has
son
been
of a bitch, get down.
When did we record our last stream?
You mean podcast?
Or podcast? Yeah.
Good question. I will.
I'm trying to remember how much time has passed, so I know what to talk about.
Allow me to go back to the GamingStooges YouTube, which is another channel you should be subscribing to, because I totally forgot to mention that when I was name dropping our social media fun stuff. We had episode 17 came out on YouTube on the 10th of November, so we recorded it like early November. It was like...
Okay, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
It was like that same week, though. I think it was like Monday, or it was like the 7th when we recorded. Because it was just after the whole fun stuff with last month.
Went to, I think the only like super notable thing I've done in the last few weeks is I went to Chicago for a show. Had some bomb-ass ramen from a local ramen spot. Shout out to Ramen San in Chicago. on Lincoln Street, by the way. That's the one I specifically went to. Jesus Christ, it was a Wednesday night, and it took us like 20 minutes to find parking. It was fucking ridiculous. I hate Chicago parking. It's always terrible. All of the fucking street parking is filled. We had to pay $8 to park just so we could have our fucking ramen. But it was good. It was really good. The show I went to was good. Saw Baroness and Chat Pile. Shout out to those bands. Nothing else super notable that I've done in the last few weeks aside from that. Thanksgiving was good. Spent it with my family. Black Friday sucked, as it always does, because I have to get up for an 8 a.m. shift. Let's see. I had food poisoning this weekend for the third time in my life.
Hell yeah.
That was a fucking experience. I felt like I was dying. It's awful. It's such an awful feeling. What were you looking for, Cloud?
Oh, I was putting my DS games away, and then Sneezy decided she wanted to walk right in front of my chair and just plop down. And then I reached down to pet her, but then she got up and then walked around the other side of the chair. So now she's just chilling on the floor.
Wow.
Near me.
What the fuck, Sneezy?
Yeah, what the fuck, Sneezy?
Yeah, I think that's about it for what I've done lately. I started showing my girlfriend Better Call Saul, and that's been cool so far. I mean, I've already seen it, but which is why I said showing it to her and not. I mean, we are watching it together. I'm not just putting it on and leaving the room. What's up, Landon?
Oh no, I was just mimicking you holding your phone in front of her, forcing her to watch it.
Just here.
Just showing it to her.
And then just sitting there silently holding the phone.
Just staring daggers.
Watching these fucking 50-minute episodes of television.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's about it for what I've been up to.
Did you play anything?
I've been really slow on playing stuff lately, honestly.
We have been playing some Super Mario Wonder on our Twitch.
Yeah. And that has been fun. We've only done the 2 streams. I would love to keep playing this game, honestly. I would be playing the fuck out of this game if we weren't streaming it. And that's on me, because that was my idea.
By the time this goes out, although the video for it will probably not be out yet, we do intend to do a Mario Kart 8 marathon where we're going to play through all 96 courses because they recently dropped the final wave of the Booster Course Pass. So look forward to us going through that. That is going to be a journey.
Hell yeah.
But of course we can't comment on it yet because we haven't actually done it. That's 2 days in the future.
True. That's going to be an endeavor.
Oh yeah. Going to be hella fun though.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you said that's everything new with you.
It fucking better be fun. I asked off half a day of work for it.
True. So for me, what's new with me? Not a whole lot. Yeah, I did mention in the last podcast episode that my girlfriend's been rewatching Bleach, so occasionally I'll be sitting down in the bedroom and she leaves it on and I'll just be watching Bleach. So I guess I can say I've watched pieces of Bleach now. It's actually not bad. I kind of like it. It's kind of it's kind of weird. I don't remember if I mentioned on the last podcast, but for me, from what I'm gathering, Bleach is that kind of anime that it knows it's a little over the top and edgy at times, so it doesn't take itself too seriously. And I feel the fans probably feel the same way, where from what I've gathered, Bleach fans kind of know it can get ridiculous. It's not like Naruto fans that try to take it too seriously when the anime itself doesn't do it all the time. It's like Bleach fans know their stuff. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good time. I think I actually might want to watch through it more seriously at some point, but there's so many episodes. And like I don't do long anime, so like I've just watched whatever she has on. My other big thing that I've been doing is I started a new solo YouTube channel dedicated to specifically Pokemon, and I've actually started working on my first major video for it, so I'm really excited. I'm not gonna go too in depth about it here because I don't really want to like shameless plug it, but the thing that made me excited for it is that doing the Patreon exclusive videos for our channel here has really kind of self-taught me a bunch of editing techniques and how to fiddle with just different effects that my editing software can do. And if you ever watch any of the Patreon exclusive stuff, you'll kind of see that I'm kind of learning how to like manipulate the video to kind of give off cool effects, and like they'll like zoom and pan stuff around a couple times here and there. I had a cool I had like a little running joke with the Tales of the Collection video where I had like spoilers, but like there was like it's like months old, but I had, after Jack was like Buck Bumble for the Nintendo 64, I just like cut and paste that multiple times throughout the video, but I like also edited that like little clip every time, so it's like slightly different. It's so like I've taught myself how to edit videos a little bit more creatively through that, so I'm going to use that for this solo channel that I'm working on.
I really need to upgrade my tier.
That's about it. Yeah, no, I've definitely been like, I've been putting in the effort when it comes to the Patreon videos. Like, I've been trying to really teach myself how to edit and put together videos that are worth the extra couple dollars a month over the basic tier, because it's like, if I'm not putting in the effort, what's the point, you know? So like, so I've been putting in the work. I'm pretty proud of the work being put into the Patreon videos, and I intend to continue doing that, so it's gonna be fun. But I think that's basically it that's been new with me. Just, making that new solo channel, working on videos, doing that stuff. So yeah, nothing too exciting, but still pretty fun stuff.
Hi.
Hi.
That's my cue.
Yeah,
Hi, Landon.
20 minutes of silence and just staring at me. That's my cue to start talking at some point.
Hell yeah.
So, what's new with me, you ask? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
What happened?
You beat Persona 5 Tactica.
I started playing and beat Persona 5 Tactica.
I was gonna say that, yeah, this
episodes.
all happened between the last podcast and now.
Yeah, because that game came out after the podcast. I think after the audio even dropped. So, like, truly between the podcasts. So I played through that. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Yeah, Thanksgiving was nice. We went to my mom's place and spent a couple hours with most of my family. And then we went to the coast and spent time with Kari's family. And we didn't die on the way back home. So,
Oh, yeah.
good. That's pretty good.
As evidenced by you appearing here today.
Well, I could be dead. Because, I had a fucking shitty 4-day week. 4-day work week right after that. Hey, can you not? I have to edit you playing with that fucking door and bag. Hey, can you just come over here for a second? Please?
Cheese Whiz is the unofficial fourth gaming stooge now,
He really is.
because he refuses to not be heard.
I had been playing a little bit of Trails to Azure, but I sort of put it down for a little bit because of Persona 5 Tactica. So I'll probably jump back into that soonish. But it's Friday. the first Dragon Quest Monsters comes out. So I'm probably going to be playing that as sort of my main game for a bit. I have been going back playing a lot more of Mario Kart.
Me too. I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart, actually. I didn't mention it, but like I've been like revisiting the series. Spoilers, we do have an intention to do a podcast episode on Mario Kart, so I've been revisiting the series as well. Just a bunch of the games.
And I bought a copy of... Oh, it's right here. I don't know, maybe we'll play this someday for the channel. Who knows?
You have a copy of Final Fantasy 16.
Well, yeah,
Fuck.
Someone traded in this. It's just the Steelbook case.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, if I'm going to have the Steelbook case, I might as well go buy myself a copy of Final Fantasy 16. Because it was on sale for just $40. So I was like...
Oh, yeah.
So, I have those. I also found a copy of Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2 March of the Minis, or whatever it is.
Oh,
Ooh,
shit.
classic game.
Classic.
True classic.
Haven't played it yet.
True classic.
True classic.
I used to own that game, actually.
I got
That's
it
a
for
good one.
$20, but it did not have the manual, so I ordered the manual off of eBay, and that came in today. And I forgot that I ordered the manual, and I was just like, why the fuck did someone from Florida send me mail?
And then you were like,
Is this
oh, wait,
spam?
that's right.
I was like, or did I forget that I ordered something off the internet, and I ripped it open, and then I was like, oh, hey, look at this. I'm going to go put this in my...
It's like it's a present from you to you.
Yeah, so...
Exactly.
I mean, that happens. So, yeah, there was that. Yeah, so speaking of the DS episode, there's that. Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. By the time this comes out, I will have played my trombone in front of people during my holiday concert. And
Hell yeah.
In 2 days' time, I will see Jeff Rosenstock. So I'll have
Nice.
more things to talk about next up.
Nice.
Yeah. I think that's it.
All right. So,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, that's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you made it this far, we appreciate you guys, as always. But, you know, we'll see you next time. Roll the outro. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Gaming Stooges Talks podcast. If you enjoyed us, consider subscribing to our podcast RSS feed, or follow us on youtube.com/GamingStooges and twitch.tv/GamingStooges for more gaming content. If you'd like to chat with us, join our Discord. The link can be found in the episode description. We also want to thank all of our Patreon supporters. Your continued support means a lot to us. Not already one? Please take a look at what we have to offer anyone who becomes a patron at patreon.com/GamingStooges. See you next time.